If you don't want to kill a character, then like don't have them stabbed that way. Then
We get to the museum, we're in the movie theater. It's very reminiscent of Scream 2.
I mean, that was a badass scene. Like, she was prepared. I mean, she lost her young hot boyfriend, but
Kind of like what makes the train scene so scary.
Welcome to Sibling Scream, Part 6.
Hey, everybody. Jimmy with the Triple C Collective here. And we are ready to bring you part 6 of Sibling Scream. The 6th one. It's our last one, guys. It's kind of crazy. We've been doing this since like July. We've been meeting, once a month, getting this all together, breaking down Scream, one of our favorite horror franchises between the four of us. And leading up into Scream 7 coming in February 26th, 2026. I just got to say, like, this has been a blast. And without further ado, let's dive into Scream 6 here. Now, up until, Scream 7, now this was the last one in the film series, like we thought for a little bit. Did you guys see this in theaters? I know I didn't because this was still in that like pandemic-y time where like I was very depending on like literally the day, depending on how my anxiety was, I was like, cool, I can go to a movie. Nope, I can't go to a movie because it was like COVID and it was just like crazy times for all of us. But I did not see this in theaters. How about the rest of you? Did you
Yeah,
guys see this in theaters?
Jodi
I
reminded
did.
me this morning that we did go together. So, yes.
Excellent. What was the theater experience like?
Jodi?
It was good. It was sold out. Me and Becky and my husband and my parents went, and we couldn't even get 5 seats together. So me and my sister and my mom sat together, and my husband and my stepdad sat together like a few rows behind. So it was full, and people were. My memory is not the greatest, but I think it was a fun experience. I think people were interacting, and I think it was good. I have pleasant memories of it.
There we go. There we go. Becky, you said you were just reminded of it. So
Yes. I did not remember. In the back of my head, I was like, I probably did just because we're such huge Scream fans, so I wouldn't put it past me, but I just didn't have any recollection.
no. And then Eddie, you did not see this, right? You didn't go?
no, not in theaters.
Okay. Um, I know like the first time I saw it was when it like first hit like streaming to like Paramount Plus and everything like that. Um, I remember watching it and being like, this movie is super brutal, and it almost felt like an outlier of
Mhm.
like the Scream movies, kind of like the same way that I feel like almost Scream 3 and like a lot of people will argue Scream 4, they kind of just like feel different. This one felt very different upon my initial watch. Um After doing like the research as we have, like reading the books, diving into everything as we do here, learning about Scream, um it was very interesting that they were like, well, I mean, is Scream 6 super brutal? I mean, is it more brutal than
Compared to the original, yes.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, I would say.
I mean, we see Casey Becker like with her guts hanging out,
But
hanging
it was
from a
so much
tree.
more I feel like it was so much more, I don't know. I don't want to use the word strategic,
Mhm.
but we witnessed a lot of the brutality as the Scream movies went on, and maybe it was because it wasn't as taboo in film to show more brutality. Um, to me, though, it just kind of felt like a completely different movie other than like a Scream movie, just because it strayed so far from the original.
Mhm.
I don't think it strayed that far. What made it feel brutal to me specifically was the bodega scene with the shotgun. Like that was a whole like we've seen guns throughout the series, but it's usually like it was Dewey's gun and they happened to get it or something like that. Like that felt incredibly dangerous. Like they are all dangerous, but that was very crazy to me. That felt very different.
It's harder to run from a shotgun, yeah.
I mean, you're trapped in a bodega and you've got this big bad guy and like everyone else is taken out. Like you got the big dude who tries to like stand up and he's gone. Like it was very scary.
What
And
about
so early on.
Homie getting torn limb from limb in his refrigerator too?
Oh,
Oh yeah, that was very Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. And even from the beginning, it's set up differently than any of the fake out killer. Like from the beginning, yes, it does have a different. They weren't playing around with trying to maybe change the rules a little bit. So yeah, it does feel a bit different. I think the spirit felt similar to me, but it was
Yeah.
pretty intense.
So I mean I agree. This movie is very like the bodega scene like is like whoa with that shotgun when Ghostface takes the shotgun and is pointing it and doing the like Terminator 2 shotgun like point of like of like the bodega owner and he's like no like it's like truly some like horrific shit like
Yeah, it has you thinking like the one-handed like pump, and it's like, okay, was the killer giving themselves away?
mm-hmm.
Because I was like, there ain't no way it's one of these bony ass, scrawny ass friends of theirs, like one hand cocking a shotgun.
We all yes, and I think we'll get to that. But also, like as we've discussed, there's been a lot of things that we've had to suspend disbelief.
Sure.
This movie really goes above and beyond for me, though, in a few times that we'll
Yeah.
get to.
Wow, you admit to
Of
it.
course, even for me, I'll always admit it. I just have a very high threshold for it. I think. But even I still love and enjoy the movie. But there are a few things where it's like,
Hmm. Yeah.
really? Okay. Okay.
Okay. So what do we want to talk about first here? Do we want to dive into like the plot and stuff a little bit? Because it seems like we're ready to talk about that stuff, about like what's happening in the movie, what feels different, and all of that. We talked about the
Lead us
bodega. Oh, sorry.
lead us wherever you think we should go.
So I mean, I did have a question about the the sequel to the requel and the so like George Lucas always says like it's like poetry. It rhymes when he's talking about like Star Wars and his Star Wars stories here. In this sequel, Scream 6 to Scream 2, did have you guys ever really thought about like the parallels between them?
Mhm. There's
Specifically,
definitely parallels in the end, but are we
Well,
talking spoilers already?
Well, I think even the college setting too.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
New.
growing
They're
up,
in college. They're in a different location. That's definitely there.
the stage finale, the spoilers, the parental revenge and everything
Yes.
like that. It
Yeah.
everything felt like also like amped up a little bit because like even in Scream 2 you get a little bit more you get a little bit more gunplay, you get the car crash and stuff, so like the bigger budget and everything where like the pole was supposed to go through the chest but then like they have the happy accident that it goes through the head and honestly makes it even more gnarly than like what the original intent was. um so like I just kind of rewatching this, I know initially I was like, wow, this movie's kind of brutal. And even I think throughout the series, I was always kind of like Scream 6 was always kind of like lower on the totem pole. After like rewatching it for the pod and stuff, like I really like Scream 6. And with these six movies, it's actually reframed the movies for me. I feel like these movies are pairs. One and two feels like a pair. Five and six feels like a pair. And in my opinion, three and four feel like a pair because three feels so different than one and two, but is like just through like the high comedy and everything. And four also feels pretty standalone. So I pair like the standalone
Hmm.
feel ones together like that. Now
Okay.
we can get to Scream 7 like once we see it or whatever. But that's kind of how rewatching six, that's kind of how I see it, is that like we've got three pairs of movies
Hmm.
here.
I like that.
And in their own way, their own like we've got mini like sequelies, I guess, for like lack of a better word, because it's like they're not really trilogies, but it's like a franchise and stuff. But each one of these feels so contained and so like related. Like 5 and 6 feel very related, very much so the same vein. But back to my initial question, that like that like connection to that second screen. Did you guys feel that? Did you not even like think about it really until I raised the question here?
I thought about it I don't think I noticed it as I was watching it, but definitely in hindsight, I think 5 had the very clear, as I was watching it, very clear parallels to 1. I can't remember it being that obvious to me while watching 6. But in hindsight, prior to you bringing it up, yes. Maybe that's because I've read so much about it, like in the book and stuff like that.
I definitely realized it in 6. I think part of when I realized it too was when Mindy was giving her rules about
Mm,
the sequels and stuff, and she was kind of talking about how it'll be similar but different. And I'm like, oh yeah, like
good
they're all
point.
like college. And like Mindy also says the one thing about it being in broad daylight and Uncle Randy got dragged into a car and stuff, and they're like in the back of a van. Like they are like even that's another thing that I feel like.
Mm,
Mindy also basically calls out the killers, as did Randy with Mickey. He did not predict Billy's mom, but he
Yeah.
specifically calls out Mickey.
Mhm.
What does he call him?
freaky Tarantino film student.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
But then he says, "But if he's a suspect, so am I." And
Mm-hmm.
So
so
let's
he's
move
kind
on.
of all over the place.
Attitude too, because Mindy's like, we're all suspects,
Yeah.
basically. And she like doesn't
Mhm,
trust anyone, and it's so her character's funny. I
mhm.
think
Even
he's
her girlfriend, she's like,
welcome
"Sorry,
too.
you're new too."
Yeah.
Oh, sweetheart, you're beautiful, but like you're a suspect too. Like, like all of that is just so funny. I mean, let's talk about the cast a little bit. We have our returning cast members. We've got Sam, Tara, Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, Jasmine Savoy Brown as Mindy, Mason Gooding as Chad. We
The core
get Ski,
four.
huh?
The
Oh,
core
core four.
four.
Yep. Core four.
Mhm.
I love that. I love simple like silly things like that in movies or among friends or anything. Like like we call it sibling scream here. I call you like Becky and Jodi. I refer to you as our sisters of cinema, and my brother is brother Eddie. Like I love silly little like nicknames and stuff like that. So like core four is just like yes, Chad,
Mhm.
yes. I
Mhm.
love it. It is amazing. Give me more. Um, we get Courtney Cox coming back as Gail. Roger Jackson finally gets his own title card as Ghostface, which is like, why haven't we shown this dude a little bit more respect over the last
Yeah,
like
that's
30
crazy.
years?
Gotta keep the mystery. I don't know.
Well, but still, that's disrespectful.
And at this point, it's not a mystery. So
Right? Like,
yeah.
he's and like, but like he's so good. Like it'd be one thing if like they like recast Roger Jackson at some point throughout the series, but like he's always batting 1,000. Like I don't know, like despite whatever the actual like plot or storyline of the movie or whatever, like Roger Jackson is always bringing the A game, like pitching 100 miles an hour, and like it's just lights out. We also get some returning, we get Skeet Ulrich coming back again for, small little cameo. And we, of course, get Hayden Panettiere coming back as Kirby.
Yeah.
Becky. So, Becky, tell us your real feelings about Hayden Panettiere and Kirby.
She's not my favorite actress in general. I
That's fair.
didn't hate her character in 4. I thought she was kind of a fun character, but I think now knowing her whole contract situation after having read the book, and she basically was a brat and was like, I refuse to be killed so she can like come back in other films. It was kind of annoying to me and left like a salty taste in my mouth. Like, of course, everyone wants to be in these films, but like,
Mhm.
and I don't know, I didn't buy the whole she's like an FBI agent thing, but I'm biased.
I
mean,
loved it. Kirby is one of my favorite characters in this franchise.
to be fair though, in your defense there, Becky, like Gail kind of gives that same like opinion almost being like you're a zygote. She's like, I'm 30 years old. I've got a gun. Okay. All right. It's like
Yeah.
when she's like, I've got a gun. That's finally when Gail's like, all right, you know what? You're right. You've got a badge. You got a gun. Like maybe you're a real person or something now.
It's always fun seeing older characters being brought back, so I will, give that credit where it's due, but she's just not my favorite, so it's just a personal bias.
I do like Hayden Panettiere. I just like her showing up as Kirby. Like, sign me up. She's fun. Like ever since Scream 4 and her showing like the movie knowledge and stuff, I was just like, you're my girl. I love it.
And her and Mindy having their little scene where they were rattling off their horror movie opinions, and they found a respect for each other. I really liked that. That was a nice moment.
Great scene. Excellent. Excellent back and forth, like game recognizing game and stuff. Like awesome. The new cast members: Dermot Mulrooney, Detective Bailey, Jack Champion, Ethan Landry. We've got Diana or Leanna, sorry.
Leanna Liberato.
Yeah, Leanna Liberato as Quinn Bailey. Devi Nakado, hopefully I said that right, as Annika. And then my boy Josh Shigera as Danny, cute guy Brackett.
Yeah. Don't forget Samara Weaving from the opening kill.
Oh yes,
she
very
is
much
a scream queen. I was so happy to see her. I didn't know she was going to be in it, so I love her. That was awesome.
Well, I mean, even in the commentary track, listening to Scream 6, like Tyler Gillette and Matt Bettinelli and stuff, like they're like, when we decided to do Scream 6, they were like, we wanted to get Samara in there, obviously returning from like Ready or Not and everything, working with her, but then they like whatever her scene was, they gave her the script pages, and she sent back like her natural Australian accent and American accent, and then they were like, you know what, let's just have you do your natural like Australian accent, which is like great because I guess it's the first time that she's done that in an American movie, as opposed to having like to do like an American type accent. So like I was just like, that's awesome, but she's great in that opening scene.
She's also like one of the stupidest girls in that scene. There's no way in shit I would have been like on a first date being like, oh, you're down this
perhaps that's part of the point. Just watch the movie. Stop it. That ever since like going back
she's
to
a professor.
But going back to Sydney in the first movie, like people always make stupid. This is someone who literally studies it for a living, and she falls for it. Like that's part of the point. And she's a scream queen, a badass scream queen, and she gets taken out in the first 10 minutes.
True.
Yeah. So it's so good. They talk about it, even Ghostface being like, I still can't believe like, you went down a dark alley all by yourself and everything like that. It's great. Again, it's like it's talking about everything that's going on, what's happening directly with it. So anything else from that opening kill? Basically, Samara Weaving, that the whole alleyway, or even leading up into where like the ghost face reveal. Like, how about that?
Yeah, it was like a double opening kill because the kid who thought he was the killer got tricked by the real killer, and he's like, you're not, like, this ain't your game, like, let me show you how it's really done. And that whole cat and mouse, or like, what did they play where he was like hot or cold,
Yeah,
that was a fun little addition.
I enjoyed whatever that first like 15
Yeah.
minutes or whatever of the like. I like the opening kill. I thought was good, and then also the little kind of twist was also
I
pretty
agree.
cool.
It's a way to keep this concept fresh in a way that I know some people were bothered by. Was it 4 where they do the multiple openings?
That was annoying.
Yes, I think this was
Went a
a
little
more
too far.
fun way to add something fresh to
Yeah.
the opening that we've become accustomed to.
Well, because they do this really great thing during the Samara Weaving kill of like where like Ghostface like throws the knife back and the blood like kind of goes on the face of him, like finally goes on like the Ghostface mask, and it's in that moment is where typically you would have like then the cut to the like title
Mhm.
sequence of like Scream 6 or whatever, and it's a fake out because they do a really great job of doing that and then pause. And I remember even watching it at home, it was such a long pause that I was like, did did stuff freeze? What's going on here? Like it was almost enough to make me be like, what's going on? And then he takes off the mask and it's like, oh my god, that's so cool.
I remember being like, what the F is happening?
Right.
I think we all were. Yeah, that was very cool.
I gotta say, when we get back to Jason and Greg's apartment, uh the when Jason is describing killing Samara
Mhm.
Weaving, horrific stuff. Like
Very
the
horrific. It's just like an average person. It's basically saying an average person is capable of something this grotesque and brutal. And yeah, that's I think what makes it so scary.
and like even just the way that he's describing it, like less than human and animal, just like
Yeah.
meat, like ugh.
Mm.
Oh man, like it gives me it is again where people are like 6 is like brutal, like that not even the opening, the Samara Weaving like kill her, like the kill of herself is like
Mhm.
a normal like death
Yeah,
and scream, you know, like I wouldn't call it any more or less brutal than anything else we've really seen before, but that huh
Stabby.
yeah, it is pretty stabby, you're right, that's fair. um but again, like I mean they have the movie within the movie called Stab Anyhow, like you know, like beside the point, that line of dialogue though, that whole like little monologue there, it is truly messed up.
agreed.
um like
It's also I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, continue.
I was just gonna say, now that you're talking about something I didn't think of, in none of the other movies do we get almost like this behind the mask of hearing the killers talk to each other. Well, he thinks he's talking to
Mhm.
his
To Greg, yeah.
co-killer. And we don't really hear them talking like in the planning like that. So that even too ups the ante of like the brutality. We just kind of see the teams all come together at the end where they're on this mission to get rid of Sydney, usually.
Yeah,
And maybe we hear their motive, but this was different.
yeah, another one of those things of like where they're changing it, they're doing something different, and it's pretty brutal, it's pretty brutal and awesome. Then we get the something that we haven't seen really before is a therapy scene.
Mm.
Which, like, to be fair, like going through trauma and all that stuff, like seek out therapy if you can, like like however you can afford it or whatever, like go do it, it'll help you, it'll do wonders for you. But Jodi, you made a little disclaimer here, and please talk about it.
Well, it seems like Sam, I forget how long she's been seeing the therapist, and he's kind of pressuring her, which you should never do as a therapist, to be like, I can't help you if you don't tell me what you're talking about, whatever. And so she tells him, and he's like, I can't work with you, and I have to notify the authorities. Like, that just would not happen. And it made me very mad to see that. Um, Essentially the only time we call the cops is if she were to be like, I am having these voices in my head telling me I need to kill. Like, there needs to be intent to harm someone specific, right? Like, she talked about something she did that happened in the past, and like whatever. Like, so him saying he needs to call, and even she was like, I didn't even tell you anything. And anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Not true. Bad therapist. Thank you.
No, thank you. And no, because like it's one of those things, like I remember watching that too, and I was like, that felt odd. So it was nice to be like reassured that it is what it is. But but I mean, like, to be fair, uh Sam, Melissa Barrera, she's pretty blunt. You know,
Yes,
I stabbed my ex 22 times, slit his throat, and then like shot him in the head. Like it's like
totally.
it's like, whoa, that's pretty brutal. I forgot about all of that. Um,
But did
but
the
one of the
therapist have the context of why she did it?
right,
Yeah.
right,
I
like
don't just go mad for no reason.
exactly. She was like literally tortured and attacked and all of that. But one of the funniest things then is after therapy when she goes home and she hears her roommate Quinn being sex positive with Paul 2.0. And like that is there's no better way to like call it that is then like being sex positive. Quinn calls it like later on when we're hearing like what we talked about a little bit about the rules and stuff. She's like, you know, the slutty roommate. She's like, I'd prefer sex positive, but sure, yeah. um, anything about this therapy scene going to like home and then going to the party?
Nothing specific for me. I mean, other than like, I think she's being a little too overprotective of her sister. Being a younger sibling, I can relate. But
Well, I can relate to maybe I think Sam is a little, or not Sam,
Kara?
Kara is a little flippant. And she's like, oh, this happened like a year ago. We need to get over it.
people
No, she
can
was going up the stairs with what's his face.
yeah, but we've all been there. Thank God for Chad.
Right. Well, I mean, to be fair, like let's get to the party. Like date rape Frankie, as he's called. Like what a name. What like again, we're batting 1,000 here
Sounds
for
like he
like
deserves it. Looks like he deserves it.
Hmm.
I mean, so let's just talk about it. You've got Annika, like Tara, despite whatever she's going through and lack of like trying to like go through therapy or like kind of seeking help, maybe whatever. She's very much so avoiding like trying to cope and whatnot, like with what happened and like not trying to deal with it. Um, but she has the right people in her corner, which is like something that a lot of people don't. She's got Annika, who's like, I don't like that, and goes up there right away. And still, despite what Tara says, it's like, no, 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 Chet, like, what does she call him? Like muscles or big guy or something? Like, I need you or whatever. When Chad and Ethan are awkwardly like dancing, pumping each other up. I don't really know what's going on with them at that like party scene, but like YOLO, I guess, whatever.
I don't get it either, but I didn't go to a school that had frat houses and stuff. So that behavior is very foreign to me.
Very gay, but in like not a bad way. Like I'm an
Yeah.
ally. But yes, it's very I shouldn't say gay. That's mean. It's very homoerotic. Let's use that.
There you go. Um,
No offense to anyone who was in a fraternity.
but that whole like them pumping each other up and then being like, "Hey, my buddy, he's a snack, right?" And what does that mean? It's not bad. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. Like it's great. But then Sam shows up and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna tase you in the balls right now. Amazing. Like 10 out of 10, no
Agreed.
notes.
He
I would
gives
do the same thing.
fucks. Yeah.
But I mean, again, like Chad does the right thing too of being like, nah, Tara's good down here, and then like throws date rape Frankie like away and whatnot. But like having the taser and just tasing him in the ball, like amazing. Like
Is that
it
legal?
might, huh?
Is that legal?
I think taser legality varies state by state. Let's
But
see
can
if
you
it's
just like
legal in New
tase
York.
someone without any consequences, even if he was
I mean,
In
Probably
to be
not.
self-defense, you probably can.
to be fair, he did grab Tara by the arm, take her off her feet, and then start dragging her up those stairs.
Yeah.
So
Tasers are
I
not legal
like
in New York.
a taser is not legal in New York.
Not
I
legal
don't think
here in
she's too
Chicago.
concerned about it, but
Yeah, like she's
if
already
he were
got
to
the
report her, he'd have to admit what was happening, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. But
right.
it's his word over hers. I wouldn't care. If I had survived a murder spree, I would carry a taser.
I would be carrying more than a taser, and I'm
Yeah.
not even like a gun person, but it takes Sydney way too long to be carrying a gun.
It's true. I'm
Fair.
sitting
That we're aware of.
gun.
Fair. And then so is there anything else then about the party that we had before we get to the first apartment like scene post party?
Well, I'm very curious how like everyone at that school seems to be against her. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you're like what really happened, or did the media spin this in a way? Everyone kind of treated her ex, I forget his name, I'm blanking, kind of like a god or something. And it was really weird. And they were all against her for like killing him, even though he
Well,
literally murdered a bunch.
Richie.
the killers planted that. They planted that. They started rumors online.
Yeah.
They explained that in the end.
In the finale, Quinn. Yeah, it literally in the finale, Quinn talks about how easy it was. Sorry, spoilers for the end of the movie. When Quinn is revealed to be still alive and one of the killers,
Okay.
we can get there. We can get there when we get there. Don't worry, Jodi. I saw that. She says, "Do you know how easy it was to change you from the hero online to the villain?"
Okay,
And
which is really interesting. And it's a call out to what is happening in society even today. And like you know that you mentioned that's always like a trend in the movies because it's so easy for the
Mhm.
media to spin things.
And cancel culture and all kind. Yeah, that's a good point.
absolutely, that's kind of like what that is, at least because it's interesting on like the things that they have in the like the meta portion of it. 5 and 6, I'm not always sure what it kind of is because again, they're trying to do something a little bit different, like they like 4 was very much so like they still had the like live streaming and all of that kind of stuff. 5 was really kind of like a reboot and a sequel and whatnot to the first one. It really went almost beat for beat in a lot of ways for Scream 1. Now Scream 6 and Scream 2, they just have similarities. It's not really like beat for beat. There's a lot of like they both things were the antes were upped in both of these movies, but like they are also like they are doing far different things overall in their storytelling and everything. Uh but this apartment scene, Tara and Chad, uh Quinn asking, "Oh, I'm sorry, did I cock block you?" Um
I thought that relationship or romance between them kind of came out of nowhere.
I agree.
There was
But it
no
doesn't like
connection.
not make sense.
Trauma bonding, I guess.
Well, that's not what a trauma bond is. I'll insert myself.
Okay, therapist
It's
Jodi.
misused. The term
Correct.
is misused, but yes, like I yes. Do you remember in the movie Speed when they talk about how relationships that start under intense circumstances, like I forget like the exact quote that they say in it, but yes, there is certainly the one they grew up together, we can assume, and then yeah, they went through something really difficult together. They're both hot. They're both protective of each other. Like
well, yeah, I mean
didn't
in
seem
Scream.
that out of left
But
field to
also
me.
she was hammered and he was protecting her from something that just happened
Correct.
to the guy and he was
Yes. Agreed.
same. So
Agreed.
Despite
but
the
I
I
love Chad.
mean in the end, like, yeah, it's a weird scene. It kind of comes out of nowhere, but if I'm being honest, like initially before everything that happens after this with like the new Scream 7 and everything, like it would have made sense to eventually see it continue on
Yeah.
into the new movie and see like what expansion or whatever could have happened from that.
Mhm.
what about Sam and Cute Guy?
That's like fine to me. I don't know why she felt the need to like completely hide it from everyone.
That is a good
I
maybe because the love interest always dies, and she's like, if this is gonna happen statistically, this is gonna happen again,
yeah,
and
that's fair.
or be the killer.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it's weird to not tell people in case. Well, I guess once it gets revealed, he also gets like she tells everyone about him and stuff. But like, or once Ghostface shows back up. But like, it just seems weird. Like, what if he was the killer and like you never told anyone, so nobody would have ever known about this guy? Like that's weird. But I don't
Maybe
really
it
have
goes
an
along
either
with
way. I
her
don't really have an issue.
personality. Yeah, I think like her personality seems to be just like, even in the first one, obviously we end up learning why she leaves Woodsboro, and like she just seems like, yeah, like the kind of private, protective older sister. Like it's not about me, it's about you, kind of. Just kind of, I don't know. But it
It's
is
like
weird. That's a good point. What if he was the
casual.
killer?
Yeah, it seemed like a casual relationship, so maybe she
Yeah.
didn't want it to like be a thing. But I don't know. I love this edition. I love him as an actor. I just think he's so cute and charming.
He's the best.
I like him too.
I watched Arrow on the CW and stuff, and he's great in that. He plays a character called Adrian Chase, and just awesome stuff. I love seeing him show up in things after that. He was so great on Arrow and whatnot. So like seeing him show up in everything else.
He's in Abbott Elementary. He's cute in that.
Oh, nice. There we go.
And he was also in that one show. Oh God, what is it called? Jodi with Julianne Moore and the girl from House of the Dragon.
Oh, I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Very,
he's
very
really
helpful
easy
here.
cameo.
He's been popping up in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's great.
Consistently acting for a long time. It's awesome. Now we get to the point of where Scream 6 kind of goes from like almost like a horror slasher into an intense action flick, because we get I mean, after this apartment scene, we get the call that brings Sam and Tara out of the apartment. They get attacked by Ghostface, and we get the bodega scene. And it is bodega scene. We get the police station. We get it's just like set piece after set piece after set piece.
We're skipping
We
over
get
the ladder scene.
That
yeah,
hasn't happened yet.
it hasn't happened yet.
That's when they're all in the apartment. It happens when they're
Later.
Later, they're in the
Yeah,
apartment
later.
a second time. Because
What?
the core 4 dinner is when the ladder happens.
Mhm.
That's after the police station.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like right now, this apartment is after the part. Tara and Chad almost
I think
hook
that was
up.
all at the same time. Might be.
No, it's okay. But then they go to the bodega, which is named Abe Snake, which was Wes Craven's porn director name before he made it big in Hollywood. But this bodega scene is truly brutal. The shotgun, like the Terminator kind of like shotgun scene, the Jurassic Park raptor in the kitchen kind of like making their way
Ooh,
through,
great
like
comparison. Yeah.
the I mean, in the director's commentary, that or in the commentary track, they talk about how
Oh.
that Jurassic Park scene literally inspired them like crawling on the ground and working their way through and everything like that.
This is also the first time we really see the character coming out in a public space.
Mm-hmm.
Like everywhere else has kind of been in someone's home or, like somewhere where could easily get away. Whereas opposed, there were multiple witnesses in a very, very crowded area. So they felt like they were potentially safe, but they weren't.
Well, and that's kind of like the crazy thing, because it's like the only other time where I can think of a kill being in the open is Randy being taken in
Mhm.
the open, put into the van,
Mhm.
or really Officer Jodi outside of her house.
In
You
broad
know?
Good
yeah.
point.
Yeah, in broad
Or
daylight. Those
also Sydney's manager or whoever, like they're in the parking garage. I guess technically anyone could come in at that point.
that's fair.
In the hospital scene in 4, with Jill.
Did we just debunk our own theory?
No, you're right, Becky. Like you could have run into anyone, because apparently in Woodsboro, no one's ever manning these hospitals or parking garages or anything. We just let it go. But you're right. I think it did add to the brutality. Like, how many people come through a New York City bodega every day and night? I don't know. It has to be a lot.
Well, just
Like,
even outside of Sam and
yes.
Tara being attacked there, how many people are killed that are just like purely innocent?
Yeah.
They just happen to be there. Yeah.
The two people in line, the store owner who tries to like be the hero and like tries to help Sam and Tara, doing the right thing of being like, go out the back door, get out of here. But of course, he has the back door locked, which is something that I really love, because it's like, naturally, it's a nod to like the classic thing of like, the front door is locked, so you can't go out the front door, so you got to go up the stairs or whatever. And so like, I don't even know if there was like a true intent of like anyone being there, but like, or like for them like intentionally being like, oh no, the door's there, or the door's locked, like that, to go with that horror stuff. But the bodega scene is an intense scene. It's one of my favorite scenes. It's not my favorite scene, but it's actually probably my second favorite, next to the train scene. If I'm being honest, that train scene is intense.
Train scene's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, really, really good.
What about what now? Anybody else have anything else about the bodega scene? Anything like that? So, what about the police station? Introduction to Kirby. We finally learn like Detective Bailey, who's Quinn's dad, and everything like that.
I have a few things. One, I really liked Kirby in 4. She's probably one of my favorite characters in that movie. I just don't like her for whatever reason in 6. It I don't know, for whatever reason doesn't work for me. And then also and I guess this is getting a little bit ahead, but Detective Bailey and Quinn are they're just outliers, and it feels obvious. It's not the core 4, right? It's just not. And then they're so it's got to be one of the new characters, and then Detective Bailey being like, "Oh yeah, I think I can account for Quinn not being he says that in the interview, and it's okay, dude.
You're right, he does.
And then it's also when you piece together Quinn earlier in the movie said my brother died, but then doesn't expand at all. It's okay, we're just not going to talk about how you just mentioned that your brother died. So, and then now she's getting cleared by the cop who just happens to get the case. It's
and that's that's a thing too. This is a smaller thing I can overlook, but I can't imagine it's very easy to move from wherever they move from, and all of a sudden he gets to be a detective right away in New York City, not some small podunk police department, and then he just gets to pick his cases. I can look past it, but you're right. I think in hindsight, looking at all these things, it's oh man. Plus, the big name is always the bad guy. What am I going to learn?
I was just about to say that, the opposite. Well, not necessarily the opposite, but Dermot Mulroney is so loved in a lot of his characters. So people were probably like, "Oh, but it can't be Dermot because he's just so
he
great."
Does rom-coms and comedies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's also an outlier in that he's this the biggest name. And why would they pay him money unless he's gonna have a major role,
Yeah.
Why is he showing up? Why is he showing up unless he's got something fun to do?
Spoiler for Thanksgiving too. It's Patrick Dempsey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You're right about that. I just rewatched that one on Thanksgiving. That's a fun one.
It is a good one.
I love that.
Well, did anyone call? Did anyone really think it was
Patrick Dempsey? Not until the end.
No. I'm sorry. Back to Scream.
Oh,
Did
okay.
you think it was the detective, from the get-go?
Oh, that's why I'm so mad at myself.
Yeah,
no, I kind of
the big name person.
You did? Well, I go through a phase in scary movies now where I literally look at every single person. I'm like, it's him, it's him, it's him. And then I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
That's part of the fun, isn't it?
I did mainly because of the relationship to Quinn, where I was like, this just feels weird.
Yeah, you're right. Thinking
You're
about
a
it,
smarty pants. I am blowing in the wind with every red herring they give me. I'm like, yes, it's them, and I'm in it, and I'm like, at the end, it's just how I am, I guess.
I for sure, when it came to like Detective Bailey and Quinn, totally overlooked all of that. Probably until like the second or third like rewatch for like the pod and stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah.
There might have been some clues.
But I forget if it was this book or if it was the director or if it was the commentary track. But Bailey, like Detective Bailey and Quinn, do not have a scene together when they're in the same frame. Like they're always separated. Like they're like because in that interrogation in the police station, Quinn's not there. He is, and then Quinn's back home. And the only time where they would be together is where spoilers where Quinn is killed later and he switches out the body. It's like the only time, but we don't see that.
But that's another thing. Like, I think in the moment in watching it, I suspected her because we don't see her die, and that's usually a pretty big red flag. But then I was like, I should have caught it. Like, her own dad, the cop, was like, "Yep, it was her. She's dead." I'm like, so sure. But again, in hindsight, it's like, damn,
He did
that
say
should have been obvious.
after she gets killed, he did say they wanted to take him off the case, did they, or did I make that up?
They did take him off.
Yeah,
the
they did
case.
take him off. Yeah.
So that's realistic because it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
What about Dr. Stone's death?
Is that the therapist?
Yes.
Oh, that one was pretty brutal too.
Yeah, right through was it through the eye?
Yeah, like through like the eye cavity.
Yeah.
And like they break through the glass and like bust his head onto like the metal, like
another broad daylight kill.
Yes.
It's almost just like New York City is the best city to do that in because people are just like, oh, maybe it's just.
It's kind of like what makes the train scene so scary.
Yeah.
Because like everyone, kind of like in Scream 2 in the movie theater, it just happens in plain sight, which is so scary.
Well, what is it? It's also statistically, no one is likely to call 911 in emergency situations like that because they assume someone else will.
Yeah. Well, that's like Detective Bailey is like, make sure you guys travel in public, which makes sense. And then immediately the scene is like, it's too overcrowded. And I'm like, oh, this actually isn't a smart idea because there's too many people now.
Yeah.
And it's how everyone's dressed up. And
yeah,
it was a very overstimulating scene. I'm sure we'll get to it, but.
So, Mindy's rules. The one thing that I noticed about this is Chad taking notes. He has an actual notebook and he's taking notes during this because I can like again the commentary track, the director's like, well, he kind of like messed around the last time she was giving like breaking down the rules and look what happened to him. So like he's hoping to learn a thing or two or whatever. It's like, growth of a character. And I was like, that's pretty funny.
That's really sweet. I don't know if I've noticed that.
But yeah, this time he has a notebook and like you'll see him with a pen, like watch it again, you'll see him with a pencil and he's like
as though he won't have access to her again, his twin.
Yeah, right.
He's like, I better get this down. But I appreciate he went analog and wasn't doing it on his phone.
Right?
Yeah.
I love good old physical media. So
the rules scene I think is where I was like, it has to be Quinn or Ethan. Because like again, it's just like it's not gonna be the core four. Just didn't make sense to me. And then it's like I definitely didn't think it was gonna be Kirby. Kirby, like that like didn't make sense. The one thing that I did like a line earlier is like Gail became so irrelevant that maybe she became the killer. Like when somebody threw that one out, it's like, okay, maybe, but also like there's no way she could actually pull it off because like look at her. Like she's like just not fit to be the killer. But either way, Mindy's rules was kind of
control the killer. Like she would be the puppeteer.
Yeah. definitely.
too.
But either way, Mindy's Rules was kind of where I was like, it's got to be one of these like two new characters. I
What
never
about
even thought.
Annika?
See, I like for whatever reason never like just never really thought it was her. I don't know if I thought she was kind of like irrelevant or what, but like Quinn and Ethan hit the
Well,
radar
sometimes
more, I would
with
say.
Ethan. Ethan was just kind of like an afterthought for me. But I guess that's a good point. Like, why did they have to mention that Chad had a roommate? You know? And he was like the nerdy, quiet one that no one suspected. And so, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I should have called it, but I didn't. Probably just because his character was so boring.
Yeah.
The people who write it are good at what they do. Like we've seen we've
But there
seen
was
them
no
all, and we
shock
still,
value. It was just like, oh, that
yeah.
guy.
So, Jodi, you have a note here
Mhm.
about Quinn's death, about them just
What
kind
did I
of
say?
glazing over
Oh,
it.
yeah. Well, that you had mentioned earlier, or someone had mentioned earlier, how when the detective comes out, um, and obviously later we find out that she is alive. Like, there's just too many layers there of like, how many, what did Detective Bailey, he was the first and only cop to show up on the scene, had enough time to not only get her out of there, but replace her with another body.
Well, he knew it
And
was
then,
happening before it happened, so he probably was close. And what body?
yeah.
Yeah, what body like
Kill
how do
someone
the
right before?
how do the coroners not realize that that's not like isn't there DNA and so like
Do
that
they know
makes
his
I
daughter?
mean, if he identified her, I guess they wouldn't necessarily. I don't know. I don't know how that all.
The family would get involved, and
They
yeah,
were fake names, so they weren't people
yeah.
who really existed. But yeah, that one was just a bit for me, like that too much. Like when they explained that later, like, oh, yeah, that little thing we did, haha, and then it was just like a quick throwaway line, and it's like, okay, no,
yeah.
no, that's
Um,
what I meant.
yeah, no, it doesn't really make much sense. It doesn't. It's one of those things that, like, in reading the book, they talk about it. They talk about this thing called a ham sandwich, where if you can just get people to watch it, leave the theater, and like it's an idea of like from TV. If you can finish the episode, have somebody walk to the kitchen, make themselves a ham sandwich, and then be like, wait a second, that didn't really kind of make too much sense. They've gotten through it, they watched it all, and then it's like upon their like reevaluation of it that they're
Mm.
like, wait a second, so they call it the ham sandwich. And there's so much of this throughout Scream 6, like thing and things like this of like Quinn, of like what we were just talking about with like Quinn, her death, the switching of the body. It's like it's a ham sandwich. Don't think about it too much. Like just enjoy what's on screen. In the book, they literally talk about suspending disbelief. Literally, Jodi, the one thing that you're like that you've literally talked about almost every single pod, it's like, yeah, sometimes you just gotta suspend the disbelief a little bit and just go with it. And yeah, there's just some things here where there's some liberties, some real liberties being taken
Some real
here.
big liberties. And I do find it interesting that Kevin Williamson says this is his favorite Scream movie.
Right? Well, and because he talks about like the action and stuff, that this is the
Mhm.
second favorite. And basically, we see the police station murder board scene, which the only thing that's really great about that is seeing Mulroney put up against with all the ghost faces there. And that's like a really great tease of him being uh Ghostface, or like a Ghostface. Sorry for the
Mhm.
Oh,
spoilers.
and a detail we didn't talk about is the killer leaving behind the original Ghostface masks. I thought that was a really fun detail.
That was
That
cool.
that is actually really sweet. For each of the deaths and stuff, starting from Amber and Richie from Scream 5, working their way backwards. Each death, yeah, there is a ghost face mask being left. And that's where now we get the ladder match. What I call the ladder match of the core four.
Yeah.
So after the police station and stuff, we go back. They're having dinner. This is where Chad dubs them the core four. And this whole scene is really great. Like it's a really great
Mhm.
bonding it really shows the same way that like in the what you see with Sydney, Gale, and Dewey basically through the first 4 Scream movies, like you really see the bond of these people. Sam, Tara, Chad, and Mindy. Like they're real friends. Like aside from like the trauma that they've been through, like they're just friends that really care about each other and like really are just hoping for the best for everybody. And like you really see that with the like core 4, the way that they're all making fun of each other and stuff for it. I believe like this is where Sam gets the call from Cute Boy when like he sees Quinn getting attacked by like Ghostface, and then they're all like going like, oh, Cute Boy, blah blah blah, and like she admits to like sleeping with him and all of that. So
Meanwhile,
that
across the street, like,
yeah.
your friend is getting murdered.
That's one of those yelling at the screen kind of moments.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's sort of funny like that because it's just like whoa. But it's great. I mean, he even tries calling, but like she's like, oh, I'll call him back, and it's just like, no, the one time I need you to pick up, please.
mhm, mhm.
um we see Quinn and Paul, then like Paul 2.0 being killed, or like we don't really see
Dewey.
we don't see Quinn's body, but we do see Paul 2.0 killed and like dismembered in the bathroom and
We see
all of
Quinn's
that.
body, but we don't see the act of her being killed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. uh all the knives are gone. Like earlier in the when they find out that Jason and Greg have been killed, you see Tara or Sam going through grabbing all the knives. Nice little like early
Mm.
nod to them being gone. And that should have been another clue that it was that Ghostface is an inside job, somebody
Mhm.
who has access to their apartment. But something that's never changed throughout all the movies. All the Ghostface killers have always been someone close to the core group of friends or main characters and stuff
Gotta
like that.
be, right?
That is one of the main rules that has always been through. Like that's a true through line throughout all of the movies.
Except for Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
that's why
fair.
He was like the hidden brother.
Yeah. But he's that secret from the past that just got revealed because it all goes back to the
That's gotta be how the route they take with Seven, because it's like, oh, we grew up here. It's gotta be someone tied to Sydney. So it's
yeah,
gotta
Mhm.
be a fake character that we don't know yet, like Roman, or someone we do.
right. And
Someone's
like
dead.
It could be someone's like siblings or parents or something. I
Mhm.
don't know if there's, but something like
so
that. Cousin, like some relation to someone maybe.
Did
well
Natty did Stu have siblings? Did they ever mention that? No.
they never did or did not, like far
He
as
was
I
a
know.
secret
Well,
friend?
no,
I have
he
no
has a
clue.
sister. He has a sister because the guy who is hitting on Chad's girlfriend in Scream 5 is the nephew to Stu Macher. That's why he gets killed.
Oh, Kyle Gallner.
Yeah, Kyle Gallner. He is the
Mhm.
nephew to Stu
The
Macher.
one with the car.
Yeah, with the
Okay.
car and like that quick little like slit on the side of the throat and everything like that. So
Oh, that's right.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
he must have a sibling. Yeah.
yeah, that's Stu Macher's sister. It was Kyle Gallner's mother.
Hmm.
So he does have a sister that is that we were told about that, but we don't know about any other siblings, as far as I know. Yeah.
You'd think they would be at his party if he was throwing a big party at the end of the first movie. Maybe
Well,
they were. Maybe
parties
they
in
were.
high school, we didn't always go to each other's parties.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
I sometimes would try to like hang out with you guys, but whenever I had
Depends
parties,
on depends on the age gap too.
You're right about that. Yeah.
Could be like 8 years older or
Yeah.
younger, either way.
Yeah, I wasn't hanging out with you at any of your parties, buddy.
No.
Might have been a little weird.
I made an appearance at a few of Jimmy's though.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to a Jimmy party in high school.
Oh.
Have you been to any of my parties? I love how we're just totally backtracking.
Yeah, right. Question mark. I don't know. Maybe.
I had a lot.
Probably. Possibly. We're
Not
getting we've totally totally gone off the rails here. But this ladder match, I call it the ladder match of the core four because after the dinner and everything, we get the ghost face attack, but we get the brutal Annika stabbing and then the
Mm-hmm.
escape via the ladder. And
Yeah.
that Annika stabbing is horrific.
Mhm. She
Awful.
was a fighter though. She was like, she was still fighting. She didn't just like give up in a corner. Poor girl.
No.
Yeah.
But oh man, that whole the tension of the ladder of
Oh,
like
yeah.
getting out of there is insane. Like it was really good. It was really well done. Like the tension of these set pieces like this, the train, like there's just certain things that they just like crank it up to 11 just like perfectly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Annika's like brutal death and falling is like awful, but like horrific, scary. Um anything else about this, like what I call the ladder match of the core four,
Great scene.
One of my favorite scenes for
right?
sure.
Definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, just bringing it back to the whole tension thing that you mentioned. It was like you're like screaming at the screen, like just keep moving, just keep
Right.
moving.
And it's like Mindy and Annika are arguing about who's going, and it's like just whatever you go.
Yeah.
You're wasting precious
You're wasting
time.
time.
Don't you see that door? Don't you see that
It
door
was like
getting busted
shaking
in?
the ladder, and you're like, oh my god, like, it's so scary. So good
Yeah.
writing. Good writing.
It's great. It is a horrific tension building scene. It's awesome. Then we pump the brakes a little bit and we get the what I call the ghost face loving theater trip with Gail. And this is the first time we get the theater. We see the theater and we see basically the Museum of Ghostface through the previous like killers and everything. Um about this whole thing with Gail, Kirby, everything like that. Um what did you guys feel about this scene?
I thought that whole like shrines thing was kind of cool. You have to obviously again suspend disbelief because like how could you get all of this stuff out of police evidence? It's like
Like
okay,
they had Stu's TV.
yeah, like
Yeah, they had like the clothes Billy was wearing. It
yeah,
totally
like a
suspended
lot of
disbelief,
that
but for a
is
cool
like,
way.
but it's kind of cool to like see, but then
Mhm.
it's also like okay, this is a little ridiculous. Regardless, oh, I was gonna go somewhere. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I was gonna say, I guess it's not all too shocking because you know how people are with like selling shit on the internet. Like, who knows how they got access to all that? But I just read the Final Girl Support Group, which is just like a silly novel, and there's something similar that happens in that book where there's a woman that's like building a shrine to these final girls and like their murder scenes.
Uh,
And they basically talk about how they got everything like on eBay and stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, I know that's a novel and that's not real too, but it's kind of fun to
It's
think
not, to that point, it's probably not too hard to believe that a cop somewhere pulled something
like
out
a
of
dirty
evidence
cop. Yeah.
long after a case was closed and sold it for some money many times over. These happened in like lots of different places and stuff.
Yeah, like John Wayne Gacy like sold paintings and stuff. Like, you
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. But
Well,
you're right.
this is a little nitpicky. When they're going through, they keep referring to it as they have the stuff from the franchise. And it's like, no, this isn't from the like this is stuff that happened. The franchise is the movies. Like, and this again, this is yeah, like this is nitpicky, but they do say they're like, oh, they have all this from the franchise, from the franchise. It's like, no, this is like that's not a franchise, that's real life. The Stab movies are
I don't think I caught
and
that.
that's different. And that bothered me a little bit. But again, it's like kind of nitpicky. But I'm like, this isn't like you guys are talking about something that happened, like not a movie.
And
Yeah.
that they lived through too. So
Yeah,
The
like that's why it's
separation is
weird.
interesting. Yeah.
That is weird. I didn't catch that.
Me neither.
We also talked about a little bit of the Mindy Kirby movie off. I
Mhm.
love it. Like it's one of my favorite things. Another line that I liked here is, "That's the TV that killed Stu Macher. If you believe he is dead."
Mhm.
That's
So
kind of knowledge, though. They would know if he was in jail or dead.
I think they were poking fun at all of our theories,
Yes.
and it
Yeah.
they're just trolling
But
us.
with that, now they're allowed to bring it back because they said that.
Yeah.
Kevin Williamson in the book is very adamant that he is
very
dead.
adamant. He is. But
Maybe the man's a liar to
Yeah,
protect
maybe
his
he's
own
throwing us off.
art.
but we also know that for sure Matthew Lillard is in Scream 7. So like
So is
and
David Arquette.
right, exactly. So naturally you think with David Arquette, with Matthew Lillard being in here, that there is some sort of flashback that Sydney might be going through, or some memory she thinks about.
Mhm.
I just can't wait.
Oh, I know. Me neither.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a blast. Now we get or actually that Ghostface Theater 11 trip. Any other comments or anything about it? Now we get a real first in the franchise. Gail versus
Mm.
Ghostface. Gail
She
gets
gets
her
her first
first
phone call. Yeah.
She gets her first phone call from Ghostface.
I guess it never really.
When she
But
gets
also, Gail
attacked,
is rich,
Never
rich.
talked
Her
to Ghostface
apartment
on the
in New
phone?
York.
yeah, she's super rich. When she gets attacked in the barn, remind me, is that Scream 2?
4.
4? Oh god, yeah. Jeez. So when
Because
she
they're
gets
at
attacked in the barn,
Stabfest.
She's
yeah,
not.
that's right. She never talks to Ghostface during.
Not in the barn.
She talks to him on the phone when Randy gets killed.
To be honest, I think Ghostface wasn't prepared for Gail to show up to the barn with cameras. I think that was kind of like a, oh fuck, gotta deal with her situation.
Yeah.
But never on the phone with him, not even in the first one. I know she doesn't get like a call specifically.
She talks to him in Scream 2 for Randy's death scene, but I don't know that Ghostface calls her. I can't remember now.
Ghostface has never called Gail in a like, what's your favorite scary movie,
Mhm.
anything like that. This is
Okay.
the first time she ever gets a call from Ghostface. In that sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a badass scene. Like she was prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, she lost her young hot boyfriend, but
She didn't seem too broken up about
Oh.
it. She's
No,
like,
not at all.
No. She's like, I can get another one. I ain't even worried about that.
yeah. What's his face? Yeah.
But I love that scene. I think it's great. I love that, like, Sam and Tara show up, and I love Gail like trying to unlock her gun, and like just like keep messing up, like just like it's like take a breath, girl. Like you'll get through it. It'll be okay. And then we get basically almost to my favorite scene, the scream train of horror.
Mm.
I just love this scene. The tension, the build up, the lights going out, the flickering of the lights and stuff. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just so good.
the separation of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did the roommate manage that? Okay, that's a dumb question, seeing as though we've been talking about suspending disbelief this entire time. But obviously that was planned.
Well, I feel like it was kind of planned, but also well, I guess how did Quinn get on that train? Because I was gonna say it's almost like maybe maybe the plan was gonna be to just attack them if they were on the same train anyways. But now that you actually bring up a good point, because how did Quinn specifically get on that train as well?
Was it
You never see Quinn.
or was it the roommate?
Well,
Ethan.
he's with
Ethan's with Mindy, so it's not Ethan. It's
He
either
doesn't like manage to put the outfit on while he's.
no, the entire, because they show you throughout Mindy's train that he's like kind of looking at her too.
Yeah.
The idea, I think maybe in the finale it's Quinn who admits to stabbing Mindy on the train, because
think
like at
so.
this point Quinn is dead. And she
Yeah,
can
you're
kind
right.
of,
How would she have gotten on it with? Well, I guess she would have been wearing the costume.
The costume, yeah.
She could have moved about. Maybe she was tracking her brother or something. I imagine there's a lot of orchestration that has to happen behind the scenes. I would
Yeah.
love to see like the planning of all this, but that would take away some of
It would be
the
fun to see a
magic.
scream, like a scream spoof where it's like from the killer's perspective, like that reel I sent you guys.
Killer POV would be kind of cool for
Yeah.
Scream.
Yeah.
absolutely. But this train, it's so good. We get the basically now our finale after this train scene of going back to the theater. And we are what I call the taste of a theatrical. And this is where, you know, we get to the museum, we're in the movie theater. It's very reminiscent, as we discussed a little bit earlier, of Scream 2 and the play Cassandra. Like there's a lot of things that like go back and forth here. But I really like this movie, even despite the ham sandwich of it all, basically up until the reveal. Like I am in with all of this. Like the switching out of the body or whatever, like that's something that we find out here later. I mean, I guess we can just get into it. We find out that it's Detective Bailey, Quinn, and Ethan are actually the father, sister, and brother of Richie from Scream 5. And just like Scream 2, it is a familia revenge movie.
A really dumb one.
How did she not know what his siblings and parent looked like?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Unless they didn't
question.
wait for that long. But it still seems odd to me.
So
He makes a point. They're like, "Well, didn't you recognize like Mrs. Loomis?" And she's like, "Oh, she's got some work and lost a lot of weight."
She also,
yeah.
She didn't know her very intimately.
And she also didn't really interact with any of the newscasters. Only Gail did.
Yeah.
Right. So for that, it's like Sydney knew Mrs. Loomis. We don't know how well Sam knew Richie's family. And with him kind of setting up Sam to be to try and like kill her and everything in Scream 5, I don't know how close he would have allowed her to get.
That's a good point. Probably not.
Where he showed pictures or something. We're
Or
just
he
like
lied.
our own.
Yeah.
But like that's one of those like unanswerable questions, because nobody, like in the commentary tracks of the of the movie, in this book and stuff, like there's nothing about that portion of it, of like what that kind of like intent or anything was. So we just got to go with that. It is a father scorned, who is upset that his firstborn son was killed, but still has another son and a daughter.
His son was a psycho. Like, you look at his hobby. You procured him all his creepy little hobby. Like, come on now.
I just hated the reveal because like you just don't care about the killers at all.
Agreed.
Like literally at all. You couldn't care any less. And then like you lose a little bit of the shock value because like in 2 you could be like, oh, I don't care about, Mrs. Loomis. And it's like, well, yeah, but that was shock.
Yeah.
At some like you were like, oh, I didn't expect it. But now you've already done it. So then like you lose the shock and then you still don't care about the killers. So it's like this is
And you
just
didn't
weird.
even care. Like, it was the first time there were 3, but like I didn't care either.
Yeah.
Like,
there was 0 character development with Quinn and Ethan, and I guess you could say the same for Mickey, but like I think the shock value with Mrs. Loomis made the Mickey character kind of make sense, where he's like, "Oh, we met in a chat room," and blah. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
She gave him some nurturing as only a mother could do. Like, it all worked. because it was only the second movie too, and it was like continuing
Whereas,
from the first movie.
yeah, whereas like a dad convincing two other biological children that this made sense, like, I don't know. It wasn't shocking. I thought it was kind of dull. I was like,
I was mad that he made me doubt Kirby for just a second. Just a second, I'll admit it. When he was like, Kirby
it would have
is
been
no
more
longer with the
shocking if it was
FBI.
Kirby.
Like
Like
it,
that would
it
have
could have
almost
been
played.
cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Uh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I think I made a note on this. Like, the more the movies went on, like the less shock value there was. It was like they were scared to kill off main characters and things like that, just for fear of.
Yeah, I think Gail should have died this movie, to be honest. I think it was about time.
Especially if they were like trying to do this whole new franchise thing, it would have.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They're framing the movie as if like like especially with no Sydney in this movie, it's like they're framing it like they're moving on.
Yeah,
Right.
And then it's like I think it would have been time. And Gail got stabbed pretty good. So
yeah.
like I think it would have been time to call it
Mhm.
quits on that. But
She's gotten stabbed so many times.
And
Shot.
yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Um. Yeah. But this finale, I would have bought if it was just the dad, or if it would have been if like Quinn or Ethan were Richie's like twin.
Yeah,
You
that would
know,
have been
like
easier to buy.
I could have really bought into that a lot easier. It's just the three people that's so difficult. Like I
Yeah.
can get one person, because then like when you get into like if you have one person, then you can have another person like convince, manipulate another person. That's like fine. I can believe that. But
Especially
once
with
you start
one being a parent and like perhaps not right in the head anyway, raising them weird.
right, but then once you start getting into like three or like, more people, then it's like then you're starting to look almost into like a cult, and it's like that makes it a little bit more difficult for me to believe based on how Scream has set up its whole world previously. So like it I really like this movie up until the reveal of three. And so it's either like if it was just the dad or Ethan or Quinn as like a twin of Richie, I would buy that easier. Or if it was like a twin and then like the twin convinced the dad to be like, no, we really need to like get our revenge. Like you're a cop, you should know, you should feel that like idea, that sense of right, getting the bad guy and all that. I could almost buy that a little bit more. But the three was just like bad.
Mhm.
Favorites. Let's start talking into our favorites. Who's got some who's favorite character?
Mine's Mindy or Chad.
Cute
I'll
guy.
go the same. Yeah. My boy Chad makes it out once again.
Yeah.
So
Fuck that
so
though.
ridiculous.
Dad's dead in my head. Like, what? Two extremely brutal stab scenes and he's still alive.
Literally, you hear it. It's just like
Yeah. They
40
literally
He's
have
like
times.
taking
arms held
turns.
out and they're like that's bringing it back to like being afraid to kill off main characters, right?
Yeah.
He dead. He's dead as hell.
I,
Okay.
I
Well,
think
that's
him
what
and
I'm.
Mindy might be the opening kill in 7.
Oh.
If you don't want to kill a character, then like don't have them stabbed that way. Then
Yeah, I agree.
it
It's
like
really
doesn't make
weird.
any sense.
And it was a very emotional scene too. So it would have made sense if he just died. Like
So
that's the whole point. Like they can't trust anyone, they can't fall in love with anyone because everyone fucking dies. And he didn't. Because of this
Yeah.
core thing. And it's like,
you
so
know
yes, I'll be very curious to see what they do with those characters in 7, because they're at this point moot.
they filmed Chad's death scene that was 2 times longer than what we saw on
Oh
screen.
my.
It's in the book, Becky.
Yeah.
Maybe I forgot that part.
It's 2 times longer, and they cut out some stabs and they slowed down the stabbing of Chad during that to make it look more believable that he could survive.
Yeah, right.
That like
You know what?
scene of his face is haunting.
Yeah.
He's dead. What?
I have one more point. So you know how Mindy shows up at the very end, like at the ambulances, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my God, like I know who it is. It's Ethan and whatever her Quinn."
Quinn.
How did she deduce that when she was on the train and gets stabbed, and
How
then
did she get out of
Ethan,
the hospital?
She saw the light and
and then like Ethan is helping her and is like calling 911, and she's like, "Oh, I was wrong again," because like she thought it was Ethan,
unless
and
it
she's
was
like,
her
"I'm wrong
Randy
again."
moment because Randy and Stu have an off-scene interaction where Randy's like, "No, it's Stu, it's Stu," and Sydney's got the gun and she doesn't believe either of them, so she shuts the door. And Randy's like, "No, it's Stu." So maybe they had an off-screen moment.
Yeah, that just seemed weird because she was literally like, "I'm wrong," and then she shows up later and she's like, "It's Ethan." And it's like, how'd you get from A to B?
She's just that good, okay?
And she's on a lot of drugs.
She is on a lot of drugs. She has some help.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
But it's like, girl, you're too late.
yeah.
She missed it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed the monologue again. So funny. So funny. I still love Sam and Tara. Their whole like sister relationship is great. Mindy is one of my favorite characters of all time.
hmm
Of all time.
Yeah, I just love her. She's so great. I love her rules and everything. The total Randy like plug in and everything about it. I just love Mindy. She's great.
It is
And
cute that they're
she
like related because if they weren't related, I would be like, it's been done before. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that she was like carrying on her uncle's legacy is really
Yeah.
cute, especially since Randy's one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yeah.
she's the first openly queer character, and Kevin Williamson even I guess this is going back to 5 too, but Kevin Williamson is gay, and like he has mentioned how much that has meant to him too. And Jasmine Savoy Brown has mentioned how important that was to her to be able to play the first openly gay character. Plus she's super smart.
hmm
I love it. And it's also something in 5 where they share that kiss in the thing. Like that was one of those things that like she suggested to Radio Silence, and they were like, "That's a great call. Let's do it." And that was like one of those things that she talks about, like as an actress of being like throwing out an idea as being heard, being seen, and like a lot like an opinion mattered. Whether or not
Mm-hmm.
they actually decide to do it, like that's always up to like the filmmakers. But something like that of being like, let's not just say I'm gonna go make out with somebody. Let's just show the kiss
Mm-hmm.
and put it like realize it and stuff, and it'll mean a lot more. And they were like, yeah, why? Of course, that's yes. um, do you have a favorite line from this movie? Or I'm sorry, does anybody else have a favorite character they want to talk about?
Cute guy.
Cute guy was your
Yeah, and not necessarily because of his character. I mean, I guess he was a good character because good for Sam being like, no offense, but like I can't trust you. Like, don't come with, blah blah blah. So like I think that she did all the right things
We're
that
learning,
Sydney
we're
wanted to.
learning. And then
Um,
Kirby's like, good call.
yeah, but he still in a way was her protector, and I don't know. I just love him as an actor, and yeah, I wasn't totally thrilled or blown away by any of the new additions. So that's why I say he's my favorite.
I do love that, like when she's like, I can't have you come in here, and he's like, okay. And then the first thing he does is go get the cops and whatnot.
hmm
Like 10 out of 10, no notes. It sucks that we're
Mhm.
probably never gonna see him again, though,
Probably
again,
not.
either with like in Scream 7, because like with Sam not being there, like what I
Yeah,
can't think of any logical reason of like why he would show up again, unless he's like an
unless he
opening.
comes to like share some bad news that she I don't
Yeah,
know.
unless
What's she
him and
even
Chad
do?
are like grabbing a beer and then
Yeah, maybe.
they like get killed in the opening together or something. Like I really have no idea why they would keep him alive. But I do have a few favorite lines in this movie. I love Kirby. I think my true favorite line is Kirby. Like, I didn't want to be afraid of monsters. I wanted the monsters to be afraid of me. About like why she decides to join the FBI and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Solid line.
Chad being like beheadings, and then like in the finale where like Ghostface like shoots off one of the mannequins' heads, and he's like beheadings. It just makes me
I don't
laugh.
think I noticed that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Tara, just literally saying, "Come on, motherfucker," and then now die a fucking virgin. Like,
Just
Yeah.
that's a pretty badass kill. Yeah.
10 out of 10, no notes. By far the train scene is my favorite. I do like the bodega, but favorite set pieces. What else do we got? Scenes.
I might like the latter more than the bodega, which is not to take away from the bodega. I love the bodega scene, but I might like the latter more, but I still think the train is my favorite.
It's hard for me to choose between the three, bodega, ladder, and train. Just because they all were so unique to this film and series, I think. But I think the most tense scene for me, for some reason, was the ladder. Because it was like happening in real time, as opposed to the train, just she was just like having anxiety. Whereas the ladder, they were in real time, like crossing this ladder and watching their friend die.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just like the end because seeing all of the museum pieces I thought was very cool. But in terms of like an actual horror scene, I think the train was just like very well done. Like was very overstimulating. Like the tension was crazy. But I think the latter would probably be right after that for me because just like classic chase and the stuff we love so much from the Scream movies that felt more in tune with the Scream movies.
Right.
What did you guys think about the Billy visions in this one? For this movie, they didn't do it for me, to be honest. I actually didn't enjoy them a ton. I also don't like the way that like I like kind of get what they're doing, but I don't like how like they're trying to frame Sam as like this murderous intent. It's like she literally did it because this guy
Yeah,
because Richie like did this whole thing and like tortured her and stuff like, and then they're like trying to play it like, oh, she's Billy's daughter, so secretly she's also a murderer. It's like
I don't think she has like sociopathic tendencies, but I think she enjoyed it. I think she enjoyed it because she was stabbing and stabbing good.
She'd be stabbing for
kept
sure. She
going
just
and
goes
kept
and
going.
goes and goes.
Yeah.
It didn't hit the same as it did in
Billy's
5.
like,
Obviously, the shock in 5 was very, very cool. I agree, it didn't hit the same. And I would have been really curious to see where they would have gone with it in a potential 7. Like, obviously, at the end, she takes the mask. We do see her drop it. So, like, it was kind of an ominous, like, I don't know. Perhaps there could have been a cool commentary on all it takes is like a slight change in circumstances. Like Billy, perhaps, like everything that happened with his mom and leaving and did it just the right kind of circumstances pushed him in that direction. And I don't know. It's interesting to explore, I think. Or it would have been, but we won't see that now. So
personally, I'm fine with that. I wasn't totally in love with this new storyline. Obviously, I was keeping up with it because, I'm so invested. But I'm very, very, very excited to bring it back to Sydney.
Yeah. Favorite death, Annika, by far. I thought that was a crazy death. The ladder thing was awesome. Like her stab was brutal, but like that falling and her like the sound of her face hitting that dumpster like is something that lives rent free in my mind that horrifies me. Like it is just such a whoa.
Yeah, no, it was
chilling
brutal.
sound.
Honestly, there weren't that many deaths.
I was just gonna say it's the only one with stakes, really.
Yeah.
Other than the killers.
Gail, Chad lives.
I like the opening kill Samara Weavings. I'll just always like, I think, the cat and mouse, the like on the phone, the chasing. Like I
Yeah.
think that'll always that tension will always be
Where
good.
the person has no idea that they're about to literally be brutally murdered.
Start the new movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Cotton Weary. Cotton,
Yeah.
like, what was up right away. So.
Because he's 100% cotton.
He sure is. Or he was, I guess.
I guess final thoughts now on Scream 6. What do you guys think about it as a sequel to Scream 5? Scream 6 in general as the sixth installment of an almost 30-year-old franchise? Like it, love it, hate it?
And
I
like
I think this was only my second time watching Scream
Hmm.
6, and I liked it more than I thought I remembered or that I thought I was going to. I think that was the same for 5. I liked both 5 and 6 more than I thought. Um, I mean, you guys, I don't like Scream 3, so that'll always be at the bottom, unless Scream 7 is a dumpster fire, but
No.
it'd be hard to believe it'd be worse than 3. I still also really liked Scream 4, but I think 5 and 6 are almost on par with 4, I think. Maybe liked 5 a little better, but I think 6 was a fine sequel. I just really hated the killers,
I
that
did
whole
too.
reveal. So like that whole part kind of takes away from it, but I thought the rest of the movie was good.
I do too.
it just felt like a whole different movie to me. Maybe because we were seeing less and less of the originals, like no Dewey, no Sydney. Which is all fine. I was entertained. I liked it. But I'm not sad at all about losing the final girls. Like,
I
love
am.
respect them as actresses, but I don't know. It just, again, I'll just go back to it feeling like a completely different movie for me. So, bringing us back to the original.
I really like Scream 6. I like it. Previous to this, I also only watched it like one time. I've watched it a whole bunch now for the pod. And it like watching Scream 5 and 6 is like really like what I said at the beginning of like kind of reevaluating these 6 movies as 1 and 2 being a pair, 5 and 6 being a pair, and almost like 3 and 4 being a pair. With that being said, it's probably 1, 2, maybe 4, 5 might be tied for that third place. 6, 3, if I'm being honest, probably for like my rankings of it. But if I'm being honest, maybe 4, 5, and 6 are. I really do like 5 though. It might be 1, 2, 5, and then 4 and 6 are tied if I'm being honest, and then 3. Because 5 was just a really nice blend of like what we knew before we lost Dewey and everything like that. Any other final thoughts here about Scream 6?
Nope. I just can't wait for 7.
Absolutely. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I am JimmE with the Triple C Collective. We want to thank you all for joining us. And I want my co-hosts to all say bye. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this 6-part excursion of Scream, going all the way from Scream 1 in 1996 to Scream 6 in 2023, where this jersey that I'm wearing is actually from Scream 6 and everything. But yeah, my wonderful co-hosts, our sisters of cinema and brother Eddie, please say bye.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you in
Bye.
But yes, we want to thank you all for joining us. Please like and subscribe to our video and to our channel. And as always, stay safe. And what is your favorite scary movie?